Alright, PS5 players. In this video, we'll look at some of the best single-player games for the PS5. These games range from open-world adventures and intense action to survival and horror, so let's get right to it without wasting any more time. Let's start the video with Death Stranding 2, which is a crazy PS5 game. Believe me, it's a really cool experience with a lot of detail and physics that are very real. It can't really be compared to Red Dead Redemption 2, but it does have its own animations and a lot of fun things to do. For me, the sticky gun was the best part of the game. It was so much fun. I think this is one of the best games for the PS5, and I really think it could even win Game of the Year. Hideo Kojima, the genius behind Metal Gear Solid and some of the best games ever made it. I think you should really try this one. You'll spend hours in its world, and like me, you'll call it a masterpiece.
Moving on to Ghost of Yotei, a game that was released recently, it truly makes you feel like you're living inside a samurai story. Trust me, I really enjoyed playing it. After the success of Ghost of Tsushima, this game captures the spirit of ancient Japan and feels like a significant upgrade. You'll see snowy mountain peaks and quiet villages filled with mystery. The combat is smooth and cinematic. Every sword clash feels heavy and meaningful, and the stealth moments keep you on your toes the entire time. What makes it unique is how beautifully it combines exploration and storytelling. You're not just fighting enemies, you're uncovering the truth behind a fallen land. The graphics are absolutely stunning, and the world design makes you feel like you're walking through a living painting. I spent hours exploring the vast world, mastering the blade, and seeking the perfect duel. Ghost of Yotei will quickly become one of your favorite PS5 games if you enjoy titles that mix action, emotion, and honor.
Alan Wake 2 is a game that raises psychological horror to a new level on the PS5. You play as Alan Wake, a writer trapped in a nightmare where his own stories come to life, twisting every word into something frightening. The game skillfully combines cinematic storytelling, survival horror, and mystery, keeping you unsure of what's real and what's not. The atmosphere is dark and unsettling, filled with haunting visuals and eerie sound design that make every shadow seem alive. The intensity increases as the game shifts perspectives between Alan and Saga Anderson, an FBI agent looking into strange events linked to him. This gives you two sides of one chilling story. Every puzzle, clue, and encounter pulls you deeper into the madness. I loved how it constantly challenged your mind. One moment you're solving a mystery, and the next you're fighting to stay sane. Alan Wake 2 isn't just a horror game, it's a psychological masterpiece that makes you feel the fear, confusion, and brilliance of its story all at once.
Next up is A Plague Tale Requiem, a game that offers one of the most emotional and gripping single-player experiences on the PS5. You once again step into the shoes of Amicia, who must protect her younger brother Hugo as they journey through a world consumed by war, death, and an unstoppable plague. Trust me when I say, this game beautifully combines stealth, puzzle solving, and storytelling, keeping you engaged from start to finish. Every scene feels heavy with emotion, from sneaking through enemy camps to running from waves of deadly rats. The visuals are breathtaking, with stunning lighting and detail that make every environment feel both alive and terrifying. What truly stands out is the bond between Amicia and Hugo. It's heartbreaking, raw, and unforgettable. I found myself completely immersed in their story, driven by the tension, sadness, and the desperate hope that they might finally find peace. A Plague Tale Requiem isn't just a game. It's a masterpiece that stays with you long after the credits roll. Next up is Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, a stunning upcoming PS5 title that feels like a mix of fantasy, art, and emotion all blended into one unforgettable journey. The game throws you into a beautifully hand-painted world where every frame looks like a living piece of art. You follow a group of heroes on a desperate mission to stop the mysterious paintress, who awakens each year to erase an entire generation from existence. The gameplay mixes turn-based combat with real-time action mechanics, keeping every battle intense and deeply strategic. What really stands out is its atmosphere. It's emotional, surreal, and cinematic, with a haunting soundtrack that perfectly matches the game's tone. The characters feel alive, each driven by fear, hope, and the desire to survive one last expedition. I was blown away by how every scene looks like a painting in motion, blending beauty and tragedy in a way few games ever do. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 isn't just another RPG. It's shaping up to be one of the most visually breathtaking and emotionally powerful experiences the PS5 has to offer. Turn the table to Silent Hill F, which is one of those games that instantly gets under your skin, in the best way possible. Oh man, from the moment you step into its eerie, mist-filled world, you can feel the tension crawling over you. Believe me, this isn't just any other horror game. It's a deeply unsettling story set in 1960s Japan where beauty and terror collide. The atmosphere is haunting, filled with twisted plants and creeping fungi that transform the world into something both gorgeous and horrifying. You're constantly torn between wanting to explore and wanting to run the other way. And that's exactly what makes it so gripping. The story digs into themes of fear, tragedy, and the human struggle against something you can't fully understand. And it lingers with you long after you stop playing. It's creepy, emotional, and unforgettable. The kind of horror that doesn't just make you jump, it makes you think. Once you step into Silent Hill F, trust me, it won't let you go.
The Last of Us Part 2. Now, you're gonna say, why this? And my answer is because of its smooth playstyle. Although its story is not perfect for some fans, but the gameplay is very smooth and enjoyable. It is one of those games that doesn't just tell a story, it makes you feel it, whether you're ready for it or not. From the very first moments, there's this weight pressing down on you, and every step you take with Ellie feels heavier than the last. It's not just about survival in a broken world, it's about anger, loss, and the search for something worth holding on to. What makes it so unforgettable is how human it all feels. The quiet moments, the little guitar songs, the awkward jokes, they cut just as deep as the violence and heartbreak. Sure, some people struggled with its pacing or the risks it took with the story, but that's what makes it so powerful. It refuses to play it safe. My advice? Don't go in expecting comfort, because this isn't that kind of game. Go in ready to hurt, to reflect, and to be changed. Because when the credits roll, you won't just remember the journey, you'll remember how it made you feel.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla is one of those games that makes you feel like you've truly stepped into another life. Oh man, from the moment you take control of Ivor, a fierce Viking warrior, you're swept into a world of adventure, raids, and exploration. Believe me, the story pulls you in with choices that actually matter, shaping your clan's future and the lands around you. You'll lead brutal raids, negotiate with kings, and uncover secrets in ancient ruins, and every mission feels like a story worth living. The combat is satisfying, whether you're swinging axes, using a bow, or sneaking silently through enemy lines. And the sheer scale of the world is breathtaking. Snowy mountains, rolling forests, and villages teeming with life. From intense battles to quiet, emotional moments with your people, it's a journey that constantly surprises and rewards you. This game isn't just big, it's immersive and unforgettable. And once you start playing, trust me, you won't want to stop.
Horizon Forbidden West is one of those games that feels like a jaw-dropping adventure from the very first step. Oh man, stepping back into Aloy's shoes is such a thrill. You're exploring a massive open world filled with towering machines, lush forests, deserts, and ruined cities reclaimed by nature. Believe me, every corner of the map feels alive and worth exploring, whether you're climbing cliffs, diving underwater, or sneaking through tall grass to take down a Thunderjaw. The combat is a blast, letting you mix bows, traps, and gadgets in so many creative ways, and the machines feel both terrifying and awe-inspiring. What really keeps you hooked, though, is the story. Aloy's journey to uncover secrets about the past while fighting to protect the future is packed with emotional moments and choices that stick with you. From intense battles to quiet moments of discovery, it's a game that constantly amazes you. This isn't just a sequel, it's a true evolution, and once you start, trust me, you won't want to put it down.
Now, we had a lot of games in list, and which Silent Hill 2 is one of them. It isn't just a horror game. It's an experience that crawls under your skin and stays there long after you've put down the controller. The fog, the empty streets, the way every corner feels wrong. It's not just about monsters. It's about the ghosts you carry inside. Playing as James, you're pulled into a story that's less about survival and more about guilt, grief, and facing truths you wish you could bury. While initially the game feels more like a horror game, especially seeing Pyramid Head through darkness, that's what made me jump out of the chair. But later, I think this game becomes more psychological rather than horror. What makes it so unforgettable is how quiet it can be. Sometimes the silence is louder than the screams, and the weight of every step feels almost unbearable. Sure, the controls can be clunky by today's standards, but somehow that only adds to the tension, making you feel helpless in the best way. I still remember James doing Search Mission with Maria. You should definitely play it slow and enjoy every moment in puzzles, because Silent Hill 2 isn't just horror, it's tragedy, and that's why it's a masterpiece.
Elden Ring is the kind of game that makes you feel small in the best way possible. Well, if you are a fan of Souls-like game, this one will deliver you a lot. The lands between stretch out endlessly, full of secrets hiding in every corner, and you never really know what's waiting over the next hill, beauty or absolute terror. You start fragile, fumbling through fights, but every victory feels like you've carved it out with your own hands. There's something haunting about exploring a ruined castle at midnight, only to stumble into a boss that feels like it crawled straight out of a nightmare. But then you see that golden tree glowing in the distance, and it keeps pulling you forward. What really makes it special is the freedom. You don't follow the game. You carve your own story, your own legend. Elden Ring doesn't hold your hand, and that's why it stays with you. It's not just a game, it's a trial, a discovery, and honestly, one of the most unforgettable adventures ever made.
Hollow Knight Silksong is one of those games that leaping and dashing through tight spaces feels incredible, and the combat is razor sharp with Hornet's needle and thread. Every encounter tests your skill, but at the same time, you're constantly uncovering secrets that make the world feel alive. What really makes it special is the atmosphere. It's gorgeous, eerie, and emotional with that same sense of mystery that made the first game unforgettable. From brutal boss fights to quiet moments of exploration, Silksong promises a journey that'll stick with you long after you're done. Trust me, this is one adventure you won't want to miss.
Cyberpunk 2077 is one of those games that had a rocky start but slowly grew into something unforgettable. Initially, the game had a lot of bugs and technical issues, but the graphics were amazing. The first time I walked through Night City, I felt like I was stepping into a living, breathing world. Neon lights reflecting off wet streets, crowds rushing by, cars blasting past you. It's overwhelming in the best way. Playing as V, you're not just shooting and hacking your way through quests. You're living a story about survival, loyalty, and identity in a world that doesn't care if you make it or not. And then there's Johnny Silverhand, constantly in your head, mocking you, guiding you, challenging every choice you make. Sure, it had bugs at launch, but with all the updates, it's hard to deny just how ambitious and alive this world feels. My advice? Don't just speed through the main story. Explore. Get lost. Find the little moments in side quests, because that's where Cyberpunk shines. Resident Evil 4 Remake is a stunning reimagining of one of the most iconic survival horror games ever, pulling you into a tense and atmospheric world where danger lurks in every shadow. Puts you in the role of Leon S. Kennedy, a government agent sent to rescue the president's daughter from a remote European village that quickly spirals into a nightmare of infected villagers, grotesque creatures, and relentless terror. The remake modernizes every aspect, with gorgeous visuals, tighter controls, and new mechanics that make the action more fluid while keeping the heart-pounding tension of the original intact.
Every encounter pushes your nerves to the edge, and the sense of dread is balanced by moments of triumph that feel incredibly rewarding. Critics and fans alike agree that this remake not only honors the classic, but elevates it into one of the finest horror experiences ever made, easily capable of stealing dozens of hours of your time.
Finally, Red Dead Redemption 2, which is more than a game. It's a world you end up living in. I know you guys must be like, come on, every game in this list is your personal favorite. Yes, they are. I love all of them, especially Witcher 3. But Red Dead Redemption 2 had a special place in my heart, which I think only GTA 6 could break. Well, I don't know much about that. The first time I rode out of camp at sunrise, with the light cutting across the mountains and the music slowly building, I knew I was in for something special. Arthur Morgan isn't just another character. You feel every struggle, every choice, every bit of weight he carries as the world around him starts to change. What makes it unforgettable isn't just the big story moments, but the small ones. The campfire talks, the quiet fishing trips, the way strangers on the road sometimes leave the biggest impact. Sure, the opening feels slow, and sometimes you might get frustrated with the little details, but that's what makes it so real. My advice? Don't rush it. Wander, explore. Take your time with Arthur's journey, because the more you let it breathe, the more it becomes a part of you. And when it's over, you won't just remember the story, you'll remember the life you lived in it.